One of the more talked about matches heading into tonight's event. Heading to the ring right now as Darby Allin, someone who has really built his reputation across the wrestling scene over the past 2 years. Willing to absorb and give out a whole lot of punishment. Going to take on a huge challenge in this matchup against a veteran of the ring. And joining me on color commentary for this contest, C.W. Anderson. PCO heading to the ring against one of the top stars, one of the top young guys in this industry, Darby Allin.
I actually rode over here with Darby. Darby's got a great future ahead of him, and he's in the ring with a legend. The guy's been around longer than I have, which is saying something.
PCO, certainly someone who has been undergoing a career resurgence within the past year.
He's definitely reinvented himself.
I was down in New Orleans and saw PCO just tear it up against Walter. Just brutal chops, brawled all across the ringside area at the GCW, Joey Janela's Spring Break Show, one of the largest attended events of that weekend. And PCO, everybody was talking about him that weekend and that outing.
It's amazing that the veteran can still get it done at the age that he's still going at.
A completely different phase of his career.
We all had to reinvent ourselves for a little while now. I've gone from being forced to doing the Rottweiler thing. We all had to change up and just reinvent to keep things fresh, to keep things in light.
Absolutely.
Just to stay with the trend.
And Darby Allin wasting absolutely no time trying to take those risks, but PCO just caught him by the throat as he went for that dive. But caught himself up on the apron here and stomping on the fingers of PCO.
Doesn't seem like Darby's intimidated.
Well, he knows this is an opportunity to continue to build his reputation if he can somehow pull out a victory against the veteran in this matchup.
Could be a huge upset and a huge win for Darby Allin.
Obviously a huge size and experience difference between these two wrestlers, but Darby Allin is a very determined man. Sent into the barricades hard, back first. PCO back in a standing position, getting inside the ring now. Allen's gonna climb up top, take advantage of this opening. Flies off, but doesn't even budge. PCO staying on his feet.
I think that's going to be one of the big differences, the size difference in this match.
What does Darby Allin have to do if he's, I mean, how do you pull out a victory against someone like PCO if you're Darby Allin of that size?
It's your quickness. It's definitely the size difference. You have to use your quickness. Because you're not going to out-muscle PCO by no means. Obviously, you can tell that just by looking at him.
Chopping away at the chest of Darby Allin. Pulling him out of the corner now.
Exploder.
Landed right on the back of his neck. Not really colliding with the turnbuckles. It was more just dropped on his head.
It actually would have been beneficial if he'd have landed on the turnbuckles.
Yeah, that could have done a lot more damage. But Darby Allin firing back. He can absorb a whole lot of punishment. We've seen it thus far in his career in professional wrestling. Though he might be a small individual, he can endure a lot of pain inside that ring. Continue to fight, and PCO just got him up on his shoulders and driven into the turnbuckles again.
Don't know how much he's going to be able to take getting dropped on his head like that.
There was more dropped on his head again, and not so much turnbuckle.
Darby kind of reminds me of a guy from ECW, Spike Dudley.
Spike Dudley, absolutely.
Yeah. Little guy, but a lot of determination. Was not scared of a big man. He's been known as a giant killer.
And we've seen Darby Allin pull out some surprising victories against larger opponents in the past in professional wrestling. Can he do it tonight against PCO?
One thing he needs to stop doing is getting dropped on his head if he's going to press. Yeah, that would be my game.
That is a key to survival if you are Darby Allin.
On the back of his neck again.
Michinoku driver. And somehow Darby Allin able to kick out. He has been on the receiving end of quite the beating thus far in the matchup and getting a burst of energy here.
PCO.
Just slams him down hard. Darby's doing everything that he can, but PCO just too strong, too big, too much size.
Darby's showing a lot of what we call the fighting spirit. He's definitely got that tonight. He's going to have that.
Rolling underneath the bottom rope out to the apron. Maybe to try to utilize those ropes. Able to drop him neck first across the ropes, but didn't do much damage as PCO just grabbed him by the waist and easily threw him from one side of the ring to the other.
In the country, we call taking this out to the woodshed.
Darby trying to pull himself up. Another chop across the chest, setting the buckle. PCO charges in, forearm shot. He's into the center of the ring. Rolling elbow. Down he goes, cover here. Darby Allin able to kick out. He's determined. He may not be able to mount much offense thus far, but he's continuing to kick out, despite all of the punishment dished out by PCO.
Kid has a lot of fight in him. He's not giving up. He's not going to give up.
Has him up, looking for maybe a power bomb. Darby Allin landing on his feet and now firing away. Shot to the midsection, using that quickness. Code Red variation right there. Gets a near fall on PCO.
His first offensive move was a big one. Crowd seemed to be getting behind Darby.
Trying to encourage him to keep fighting here. Pulling himself up in the corner. Gets that boot up into the face of PCO. Shotgun drop kick right to the shoulder. All the way across the ring. Using his body as a weapon. He's flinging himself at... Oh, but got caught in the waistlock. Release suplex, launching him overhead.
Turns him inside out. I don't know how much more Darby can take from this.
Well, doing his best to hang in there, and now the hand right around the throat of Darby Allin gets a bit of a warning from the official. Maybe thinking about a choke slam here, but landing on his feet, escaping the choke slam.
Fujiwara armbar.
He's got it cinched in, wrenching up on the Fujiwara armbar. Darby Allin trying to do his best to maintain the hold, just sitting down across the shoulder and pounding down, headbutting the hand, the wrist.
A different variation.
Still trying to hold up onto that Fujiwara.
He's got the wrist bent backwards, it looks like.
Yeah, doing damage to the wrist as well as maintaining the armbar, applying pressure to the shoulder. But PCO not giving it up. The referee checking on his condition as he's inching his way toward the ropes. Darby still with the hold cinched
fighting.
in, but that boot is across the bottom rope. Darby Allin must release the hold. Taking full advantage of the referee's count to do maximum damage.
After the beating he's been taking, I would take to at least a 5 count before I would break.
And perhaps that did some damage, took away some of the strength of PCO by focusing on that arm there. He had that Fujiwara armbar cinched in for a good minute. PCO trying to walk it off on the floor.
In time to gather his thoughts.
Out to the apron comes Darby. Taking a risk, but caught by PCO. So much strength. Ooh, and he swings him into the barricade.
He's still like a human battering ram.
Picks him up, power bombing him into the corner of the barricade like a buckle bomb, but he meets the steel. Brutality from PCO on the floor. Comes charging though, and Darby moves out of the way. And he's going to take a risk. Darby Allin to the top rope. Front flip over the barricade, wiping out PCO in the crowd. A huge risk, and it pays off for Darby Allin, but he can't win the match on the floor. He's got to somehow get PCO back inside the ring if he wants to pull out the win. That's what Darby Allin is known for, those high risks, putting his body at risk for the victory. PCO and Darby both back on their feet on the floor now.
PCO was definitely back to his feet first after getting wiped out by Darby.
It's the back wall of the building, just elevating him with one arm around the throat, just choking Darby Allin. Darby's trying to fire back.
Just put water in his face, anything he can to get an advantage on PCO.
Anything to even have a momentary advantage in this match. PCO connecting with that chop.
I'm gonna let you know if they come this way, I'm out of here.
Yeah, they're making their way slowly toward us, but launching Darby through those chairs as the fans have gotten out of harm's way as well.
PCO is throwing Darby around like a rag doll, and he's still getting up.
And listen to these fans here in Crown Point.
They're definitely behind Darby Allin.
Encouraging him to get back up, continue to fight here. PCO.
As long as PCO has been in this business, he is still having to take everything he can to put this kid away.
Power bombing Darby Allin into those chairs as they were set up facing one another. Just decimating Darby Allin in the crowd. Referee giving them some leniency here. We want to see a winner inside that ring. Oh, Darby Allin getting the advantage for a moment, driving the chest and the throat. PCO across that barricade, now
Still
pounding
fighting.
down across the back. Has him in position, draped across that barricade. Here comes Darby Allin. Soaring through the ropes, connecting with the back of PCO as he was draped across the barricade. Again, PCO, the
Back in
first one
first.
back up. After Darby's offense, still PCO gets up first. And now, once again to the top rope comes Darby Allin. Just flinging his body as a weapon.
Using his entire body as a long dart.
More than halfway across the ring and landing across the chest of PCO. Cannot go for a PCO back on his feet. Darby Allin at a standing position as well.
Darby's telling him to bring it.
And Darby firing away on PCO. Repeated shots not having much of an effect. Off comes the wrist tape. Looks underneath that attempt by PCO up on the shoulder.
Right over to a stunner.
Has him stunned, but staying on his feet is PCO, trying to shake it off. Darby Allin off the ropes. Right to the boot.
Package pile driver.
Oh, right on the top of his head.
Again.
PCO rolls him over. Cover. And somehow Darby Allin kicked out. Unbelievable. A normal human being would be down for about 5 years after that maneuver. And now Tombstone pile driver. And he got him. Unbelievable. What a fight between those two. But PCO scores the victory and gives the assist to the
By the car battery.
the jumper cables, bringing him back to life, giving him that second wind in order to pull out the victory. A great fight put up by Darby Allin throughout that contest.
He just comes up a little bit short, but Darby definitely giving his all.
Absolutely.
But he was no match for PCO in the car battery.
What a war here at BLP Vacation, and we got a whole lot